Before we jump in, here's today's quick rundown. We've got a free interview prep series for M7 and top 15 applicants, 3 high-signal GMAT debriefs showing what actually moved scores, a major upgrade to GMAT Club's adaptive quiz, 2 critical reasoning concept reads you should bookmark, and this week's top reward point earners on the forum. Alright, let's get right into it. If you're preparing for MBA interviews right now, especially for M7 or top 15 programs, this is something that you do not want to miss. GMAT Club is hosting a free MBA interview prep series from January 27th to February 18th featuring admissions experts from top consulting firms and former admissions insiders. Each session focuses on a specific school including Kellogg, Stanford, HBS, Booth, Wharton, Sloan, Columbia, and more. Across these sessions, you'll learn what interviewers are actually looking for, the common mistakes that sink otherwise strong candidates, how to structure answers with clarity and confidence, and how interview styles differ across top programs. We're also hosting student-led interview debrief sessions where recent admits break down real interview experiences, what worked, what didn't, and what surprised them during the process. This entire series is completely free and registration links are available in the video description below. If interviews are on your calendar, pause this video after and register. Seriously. Now, let's move into this week's biggest GMAT and MBA community updates. One of the most honest GMAT debriefs this week comes from a test taker who went from a 585 to a 685 and more importantly explains what those scores actually meant. Their first official attempt didn't reflect their true ability. Testing anxiety, time pressure, and poor mock usage played a much bigger role than content gaps. At that point, their practice mock scores were already reaching the high 600s. By the second attempt, things looked very different. Their official mock scores touched 735, their quant fundamentals were much clearer, and their approach to the exam was far calmer and more controlled. Some important takeaways from this debrief are worth highlighting. Redoing official mocks 1 and 2 can create false confidence because of repeated questions. GMAT Ninja played a major role in rebuilding quant fundamentals. Free e-GMAT critical reasoning and reading comprehension lectures significantly improved verbal approach, and maintaining an error log reviewed before every study session made a huge difference. Their biggest advice is simple but important. Don't rush the exam. Anxiety can undo months of preparation in just a few hours. The full breakdown and all reference resources are linked in the description below. Next up is a 715 GMAT focus story, and what makes this one stand out is the mindset shift behind the score. This test taker realized that chasing perfection in individual sections was actually hurting overall performance. Improvement came from balance and better decision-making under pressure, and they share a few key realizations. GMAT verbal is logic, not English. Data insights rewards patience more than brilliance, and section order can significantly impact how you perform later in the exam. After testing different approaches in mocks, they settled on quant first, then verbal, and data insights last. This helped them take advantage of early quant questions while fresh, preserve mental energy for verbal, and enter DI without unnecessary pressure. Their biggest takeaway is one many high scorers echo. Stop trying to maximize every section and focus instead on executing the full exam well. The full debrief is linked below. This next story is especially relevant for Wharton professionals. A test taker jumped from a 575 mock score to a 715 official GMAT focus score in just 3 months while working full-time and pursuing a master's degree. What stands out here is how intentional the preparation was. The first month was spent testing multiple resources instead of committing blindly, and once they identified what worked, they locked into a consistent routine. GMAT Ninja's 13-week verbal plan provided clear weekly direction. Target Test Prep offered structure for quant revision, and once again, consistency mattered more than long study hours. An error log also played a key role in identifying recurring mistakes and preventing points from being lost on easier questions. If you're balancing GMAT prep with work or school, this debrief offers a realistic and repeatable approach. The full timeline and mock breakdowns are linked in the description below. Quick reminder, if you're finding these updates helpful, make sure to like the video and subscribe to GMAT Club so you don't miss future GMAT and MBA news. Next, a major product update from GMAT Club. The Adaptive Forum Quiz version 5.0 is now live, and this is more than just a visual refresh. The update includes a cleaner, redesigned interface that mirrors mirrors the official exam, dedicated support for GRE and executive assessment test takers, trending questions based on real community activity, saved quiz templates you can reuse or share, and deep integration with the GMAT Club error log. In practice, this means you can build adaptive quizzes across 11 difficulty levels, reattempt questions directly from your mistakes, practice data insights questions one at a time just like on test day, and track performance automatically. There's also a free option that lets you practice 5 questions per day with no credit card required. If you haven't explored the new quiz yet, the link is in the video description below. 2 critical reasoning concept articles are also trending this week, and they're especially useful for anyone struggling with verbal consistency. The first breaks down correlation versus causation, one of the most frequently tested logic traps on the GMAT. It explains why 2 events happening together does not mean one caused the other, and how this flawed reasoning shows up in strengthened and weakened questions. The second is a comprehensive guide on negation, a concept many students use incorrectly even after months of prep. It explains what negation actually means, why shortcut rules fail, and how to apply it correctly in assumption questions. These aren't surface-level tips. They're concept-driven explanations that help you reason through critical reasoning questions instead of guessing. Both articles are linked below. Finally, let's look at this week's top 10 GMAT Club users. Every week, we recognize the most active non-expert, non-moderator members of the community based on reward points earned through participation. This week's top users are all mentioned here. Now, reward points can be redeemed for GMAT Club tests, adaptive quiz subscriptions, admissions consulting, full GMAT courses, and resume or interview prep. So if you're already active on the forum, this is value you shouldn't leave on the table. All articles, events, and tools mentioned today are linked in the video description below, so explore what's most relevant to your stage of prep. And if MBA interviews are coming up for you, once again, make sure to register for the interview prep series. It's free and it can genuinely make a difference. We'll see you guys next week with more GMAT and MBA updates. Bye!